All right, mates, welcome back to this edition of your CryptoCast. We are taking a look right now at Bitcoin. You can kind of see what's been going on here in the last few hours. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy to see what's been going down. You can kind of see where that 18,300 right up here. Kind of see that at that line up top where we were at 18,300, where that call was to short Bitcoin, and you can kind of see what has happened, mates. It's basically just retraced all the way back down to the December 11th lows almost, which is now going to act as support for Bitcoin here, and it's got to act as support, because if it doesn't, what you're going to find is you're going to find that next level down at 16,700 get tested. Okay, so you want to keep an eye on that. Looking forward, you are already below, again, using your methods, the 7-day, the 21-day, and the 30-day. So I got a message this morning about an entry, and I texted back to the mate about, right, yeah, you've already broken through 1 and 2. When Bitcoin fell below that 30-day at 17,431, right there, you ended up with a trifecta cross, okay? What does that mean? That means that you actually crossed 3 DMA trend lines. Doesn't matter whether it was the 5, the 10, or the 21. Doesn't matter if it's a 7, 21, or 30. When you cross 3 to the downside or to the upside, you cross 3 trend lines. That is a trifecta cross, okay? And that is either going to be bullish or extremely bearish. And it was extremely bearish right here, okay? So as soon as that line was broken, that's when you could have entered a short at 17,400, right at that level, and then now you would be down to 16,920. Okay, and so that's what I mean about using these. It doesn't matter. Sure, it's great for everyone that got up at the top at 18,300. It's great for the people that played the short as it broke the 7-day at 17,800. But if you didn't get in at those points, there was still a trade to be had, okay? Because there's always a trade when you use this method in terms of using your trend lines, okay, and using your exponential moving averages or your daily moving averages, mate, okay? And that's what I want everyone to understand here. It's very, very simple. It's not complicated. People want to add up all these other indicators and all this stuff because they have indicators to sell you, okay? They have things they want to sell you, right? Like, and they throw all this stuff on the screen, and you certainly can do that. I mean, a lot of times I'll throw the Ikimochi cloud up there. I'll throw the RSI up there. I'll throw a lot of stuff up just to kind of get an idea. You can do that right here. I could do that right here and kind of show you what's happened with the market. There's your cloud. Look at that. And this is basically almost like the same as if you were looking at liquidity, okay, of where your buyers and sellers are. Now, we're going to go take it a step further, and we're going to throw in here the RSI, okay? Look at what the RSI level is right now, mates. The RSI has dropped all the way down to Bitcoin's 14-day, 21-day, 25-day, almost a 30-day low. Bitcoin is trading today at a 30-day low on its relative strength index right now. Okay? At roughly 10:30 a.m. Friday morning Eastern Standard Time, right here, it is trading at an RSI level of 34. Its lowest level in 30 days, mates. So what does that tell you? That tells you that we're approaching an oversold condition. Okay? Now, this is a correction, clearly, to what we saw. To what we saw happen, right? With Bitcoin in the last 48 hours, okay? Fed rate, 50 basis points, everything went bullish, stock market went bullish, Bitcoin went bullish. Then it rose to an elevated RSI level right there. Very simple, got above 80, that's overbought. Now it collapsed back down, it's going to collapse back. Anything below 30 is oversold. We're not there yet, but we're going to get pretty close. And if it gets to this level, there is a greater percentage opportunity that it's going to bounce. Okay, can I tell you that how high it's going to bounce? No, but it's going to bounce most likely because the RSI is going to be oversold and it's another support trend line. Okay, but if it does bounce, then your 30-day becomes your first level of resistance. Okay, that becomes your first level of resistance in the trade. Okay, and so you want to keep that in mind when you're looking at this. Okay. And I'll get you focused in here and you can see exactly what I'm looking at, okay, with that trend line. So if it breaks where that yellow line is, where the thumb is, okay, a finger sitting right there, and it bounces off of that support line, it's going to most likely test your 30-day at 17,436. It's currently trading at 17, okay? And you want to look at that, all right? And so that's how you want to actually look to move into this trade, okay? As you're going forward. And just watch here and see what happens at this trend line, all right? We're currently at 16,970, okay? And that fault line is at 17,425, okay? So almost over 400 basis points, 450 basis points is where Bitcoin would need to bounce and recover, okay? Now, we can change this right now to get an idea of, okay, Jay, what's the 55-day moving average? Look at that. 55-day is 17,326. So it's just under, okay? It's 125, 150 basis points lower than the 30-day. So you could use that as a trend line for it to reverse back, pivot, and challenge that trend line, okay? But what you want to look for is, see this candle right here, mates? You see this candle? That candle right there that we're looking at is starting to compress, okay? And when you see that happen, and it forms a doji style candle, you almost 85% of the time get a candle change, okay? And and if you think I'm wrong about that, just go back and just look at the last 2 weeks when you get that style of candle, okay? There's one like that, little small one, boom, okay? One right there, then that one, okay? These didn't change, but they stayed in the same range. So you could go red again in the same range, just like it did right there, along this line as it makes up its intentionality. But 80 to 85% of the time, it'll turn to a green. So you can flip over to the 1 hour. Remember, we're on the 4 hour. You could flip over to the 1 hour, okay, in that regard. And you could kind of take a look at what it looks like on the 1 hour. Is the 1 hour going green already? Because remember, you've got 4 1-hour sticks in a 4-hour candle, okay? And that's really what you're looking at when you're looking at this, okay? You're looking at 4 1-hour candles in a 4-hour stick. And we're just approaching this support line, this first leg primary support now under the 55-day, the 30-day, the 21-day, and the 7-day moving average. This is your first line, first leg. After that, there's a little bit of liquidity support at 16,750, but then we're going down to 16,000, mates, okay? Unless the bulls come in here and decide to take a little bit of action okay, and pull this market up, but it's still compressing here. See this? This is still what's happening right here. So how to play this is very simple in a sense that you may want to utilize your hedge, okay? Because if you're sell down from 1830, 18,300, or you're sell down from anywhere in here and it's not green yet, you can buy an open long at like leverage as a hedge. That becomes an insurance policy, okay, against your short trade. So if it does go back green, okay, you're going to profit as it goes back up, and then you can liquidate your short trade, okay? You're not going to get caught. But you want to keep that short trade open because you really don't know the intentionality yet, right? It could continue to fall back below this, and if it does fall below the support line, it is going to go down another $200, mates, okay? And so you want to be able to capture those gains, but at the same time, you want to hedge that short trade and your profit by just buying some insurance, buying a buy up entry, okay, at like leverage, and hold on to that in the event that Bitcoin does pop. And you can set that as a limit order. You can set that to buy up at, say, 16,890, okay, or 888, however you want. You could set your sell that short trade, okay. If you want, place that order in lower, below this support level, down to this next one. If you want to get out, again, you're in profit here at least 40% now, almost 77% and almost 40% in your 5 or 10x trades. So and again, you don't need to call the bottom, mates, okay? You didn't need to call the top. You could have gotten in here, here, or even here, and you would be in profit on a sell down trade. And that's how you want to structure your trading plan. So remember, our goal at 1830 was, our expectation was we were going to come back down and challenge the 7-day, which was at 17,300. We did that, and we broke through it. And then we figured it's going to challenge 410, okay, which was this level. 438 at that particular candle, letting it run. Then when it broke here, we looked for it to break the 21 or the 50, or the 30 or the 55. And then it did. And now we're looking for it to either break here or bounce off support. And that, mates, is how you trade Bitcoin every single day if you're going to trade Bitcoin, okay? It's very, very simple. Use these trend lines. So let's show a trade in which we had to make an actual shift in the plan, and that is going to be Ethereum. Now, why did that happen? Remember, if you watched the video, okay, you watch the video, you will know from yesterday that we took a gamble, right? Having a sell down trade. Get this over for you so you can look at it. Having a sell down trade up here the same time we entered Bitcoin, okay? But then at this line at around 12, actually, I'm gonna change these over. So we're on the like time frames as we were yesterday. So what we did was we were kind of straddling over the line. Okay, right here, right? It was about 1270, okay? And so we went ahead and bought a buy up at 1270, okay? But here's the thing, mates. We kept the sell down open, okay? And look what's happened in your Ethereum chart, okay? Ethereum has broken it's 7-day, 21-day, and 30-day. So our buy up insurance policy wasn't necessary. We didn't need it, okay? It's still open. It has not been liquidated yet, okay? Because it's a lower leverage, okay? But our sell down is still profiting. It's still moving down. And Ethereum is continuing to move down. Now, we're trading right here at Ethereum right now at the 1200 channel. What's going to happen next? Well, your 7-day is the next available resistance point, okay? Going back on any pivot at 1254. So $54 higher than we are today. Look at the candle, okay? The candle is starting to compress, just like that Bitcoin candle we just looked at, okay? So we may be able then here, right, to add to our buy up position that we entered in at 1270, okay, over here, add up another buy up at 1200, which will shrink our entry point to about 1230. It will still be out of the money, but we will have cut it in half by entering in another buy up. Okay, you're averaging your entry. Okay, but let's go back and let's look. Okay, see that line going across the screen? That is where Ethereum is at right now. It is below its support until right here on November 29th of 1196. So it's right on that support. If that support breaks, Ethereum is going to drop to 1160. Okay? And then if that support breaks, Ethereum is going to drop again down to here, 1122 and 1100. It's as simple as that, mates. That's all you need to know. You're setting your zone, your top and your bottom of your zone, okay? And then understanding your trend lines. 721.30, 510.21, you can use the 55, but inevitably right now, like we did for Bitcoin, let's take a look at Ethereum's RSI right now. She has to be approaching oversold status, right? Absolutely she is. She is right now sitting at 30, approaching oversold. This is why it's starting to compress in this candle, mates. You can see right there. That candle is why she's compressing, is because she is just now crossing into oversold territory. So we could expect the next candle to be green, okay? And so that's why you could conceivably enter in another entry at this point, okay? Right at that level at 1200 to bring down your entry at 1270. Remember, you still have your sell down entry up, okay? It's still open and in profit, okay? From 1320, okay? So that's what you want to look at. And that's the simplest way that you can easily trade Ethereum and Bitcoin, okay? But let's take a look at when we talk about correlation, right? Let's take a look at, very simply, Ethereum Classic. What's happening to Ethereum Classic at the same time that that's happening to Ethereum? It's the same chart, mates. Look. Doesn't it look exactly like Ethereum? Looks exactly identical to Ethereum. Okay? Let's take a look at the RSI. RSI. It's below 30, mates. So right now, Ethereum Classic is oversold. Okay. ETC's oversold on the RSI at $17.30 right now. Okay. But is it on a support line? Its candle is starting to change a little bit. Okay. It's compressed. Let's compress a little bit. We'll see what's going to happen. Remember, we're about ready to start here a new candle. Okay. So we're going to flip back to Ethereum and we're going to see what that looks like. But that is, appears to be a candle that wants to change. And then you look at the book and you see how much buying volume there's coming in. But just like Ethereum, you got to go all the way back to November 22nd for Ethereum to be this low. And on November 22nd, when it was that low, it was trading at an RSI of about 40. Okay? So that tells you, okay, same price today as back then, but the RSI is lower, okay, because of this trend. But that's what you want to look at, mates. Okay? So now it's time to look at, okay, buying a buy up in Ethereum Classic, okay? Based on your charting, obviously not financial advice, but you're based on what you're seeing in the chart, reading the candlesticks and reading the pattern. Let's go back and look at Ethereum. Okay, look at Ethereum, starting a new stick on the 4-hour, and you can see what she's got going down. Okay, she's starting to pivot. Okay, this candle may end up being the final compressed candle to switch back to green. Okay, why? Because look at the end of this stick. Okay, the bottom of that stick. Right? See that? You've got a wick at the bottom, which means there are buyers there, mates. Okay, there are buyers that are buying Ethereum at $1,200. Okay, a big chunk of buyers, by the way, if you look at the book. So they don't want it to fall below 1,200. That is a huge liquidity line. Okay, if you look at your IO map is in and out of the money. If you look at your IO map, your on-chain analytics, you will see that there's a lot of liquidity at 1,200. There are a lot of people, probably institutions, who do not want Ethereum to fall below 1,200. And so this is where you set a line in the sand and look at it and go, okay, what are the chances? We're below. I gotta get back above 1231 on my 7-day or my 5-day on this chart, but 7-day is pretty darn close. And I got support right on this line, okay, that is roughly 17 days ago. And a lot of support, okay, in terms of liquidity. So that's when, if you're a riskier trader, based on the chart, you go ahead and buy up on low leverage, okay, at 1,200, right? Again, you can adjust your trade if she does break. If she does break below 1,200, okay, then we know that she's more than likely going to fall to the 1160 channel. If she falls to like 1195, you can buy a short and just play that profit down, then buy another buy up at this level, average the two out. Sorry, I don't have you guys on the screen, sorry. She falls to this red line, okay? That's what you can do, all right? So that's really what you want to look at. You can always average up, okay? Make sure you're able to do that on your exchange. Make sure that if you're trading on an exchange, you can have an open long and an open short at the same time. If you cannot, you want to have two exchanges. That's how you want to do it. And so you can cover the price movement of what is happening in the actual asset that you're covering. So that's where we're at 11 a.m. Friday morning, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ethereum Classic, okay? Now, quickly, before we hop off here, I'm going to do Bitcoin Cash, okay, which is correlated to Bitcoin. Okay, keep an eye on that. Okay, here's your chart right here. Here's your 4-hour chart. Bitcoin Cash trading at $102.70. Let's take a look at its RSI. Right at 30, mates. Right at, actually just below 30. So it's now in oversold territory. Okay, so we know it's in oversold territory. We know we had a doji here, compressed candle here, and that last stick. We've got a little bit of wickage here. We've got some, let's see what the support zone is. We've got some liquidity at $100, mates. We've got a little bit of support at $100, but let's see how far back again, and we're going to go right on the same day, right there. Okay, so then we've got this support zone down here at 101. So we've got the support from November 21st, all right? It looks exactly the same as Ethereum Classic, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, okay? So this becomes an opportunity at $100 to play a pivot. Okay, especially if this continues to compress. See the small wick forming right down here? That means you've got buyers at $101, okay? And you've got a big liquidity pool of a lot of people holding Bitcoin Cash that they purchased at $100, okay? And so you're looking for it to get back to 105 and then retest back up forward. So that's where you would look, okay, for that entry in Bitcoin Cash. So the moral of the story, mates, is a lot of times you've got multiple trades that are going to do the exact same pattern, okay, within the same 4-hour stick. And that's why you can spread that out a little bit with Bitcoin and Ethereum and then their assets. Remember, Bitcoin Cash is trading at $102. Bitcoin is trading at just under $17,000, right? So it's all about, actually it's above 17, no, wait, 16,860, okay? And we're going to pull up Bitcoin's RSI again on the 4-hour, just to give it a little bit. Remember, Bitcoin Cash was just under 30, and Bitcoin is still just above at 31, 30 and a half to 31, okay? But again, it's right on that fault line, mates. It's right on that line. Let me move this over so you can see it. See the line right there? It's got support right there, and then again right there. Okay, so it's right on that fault line. So we're going to keep an eye on that, mates. Again, a little bit after 11 a.m., starting a new 4-hour stick. Still got your debt short. Some of you still have your short trades. Your short trades from 18,300 and 17,200. Still open, so well done you. Depending on your leverage, you're up anywhere from 20% to 45, 50% on Bitcoin. And just remember, the same pattern set for the Bitcoin Cash trade is going to be twice as that percentage, okay, in terms of your P&L. The Bitcoin Cash is at almost 76, 78%, okay, on lower leverage because, again, it's priced at $102, down from $112. Okay, so it's moved 10% lower, okay, in the last 24 to 48 hours. Okay, if you think about that, it's lost $10, so it's 5% really. So that's how you capitalize on that. If you have any questions, please hit me up. I'll leave the email in the description. You can also find me on TikTok, CryptoCast Leverage, and we'll hop back on here in the afternoon, give an update on these trades. All right, mates.